Okay. I'll be doing this piece, and it's titled "The Greatest Artist of All Time." A man walked up to me the other day, and he was like, "Who is your favorite artist?" And just like most people would do when they ask you a question, he didn't really care about my answer. Then he proceeded to tell me who he thought the true answer was, and continued about the struggle to recognize who he said was the greatest artist of all time. He said, is it Shakespeare, Frost, Michelangelo, Picasso, Bob Dylan, Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, Beethoven? He went on and on about who he thought was the greatest, not knowing if a structure to answer this question was misled and outdated. So finally, I kindly smiled and said, "Okay, my friend, you asked me who's the greatest of all time. Now you shared yours, so let me share mine." You see, because there is no debate about who is the greatest. You see, all those other artists you mentioned, the greatest made them. And you see, this artist is a beast, a lion, a name above names. You don't realize it, but you encounter his art every day. It deserves all of the acclaim. It deserves all the fame because all other artists pass away, but he remains. And oh, by the way, his name is God, Yahweh, Creator, your Maker. He's infinitely creative. There is no one greater. And I can tell you're starting to get mad at me, but don't be jealous because your favorite artist might bend words, but my favorite artist can bend galaxies. You see, in his hand, he owns all the sand, the author of life, when he said, "Let us make man." See, what if I told you that you're God's poetry? You were created because someone else was creative. You see, long ago, he picked up his eternal paintbrush, dipped in glory, placed us in a story, and said, "They will live for me." I know this may sound strange and outlandish, but I know our lives is not a mistake, and neither are we a product of random chances. And we're not actually divine, we're actually the branches. And in the same way, we're not actually the artist, we're actually the canvas. Because in an instant, God started to make art, shaped you uniquely and beautiful individual right from the start. And he touched this canvas of flesh and said, "This one is better than the rest. I'll give him so much of my image." So he crafted and made every arm, leg, ligaments, tendons, muscles, blood vessels, veins, arteries, and said, "They're going to have a part of me." And about this time, the guy brought it back in and said, "Oh, my life is so messed up. I'm wretched and filthy. Will God use me? Will he?" And I laughed and said, "You see, that is what is awesome about this God. You see, no matter what we've done, God can still use us. Even though other artists, when they have broken equipment, make excuses, but God doesn't refuse us, and neither does he accuse us, but he redeems us in Jesus and promises never to lose us."
Put your hands together.